Welcome to Season 8 of A Little Birdie Told Me, the podcast. I'm your host, Rebecca Horan, and on Episode 3, I'm speaking to content creator Laura Cunningham. Laura and I discussed how outspoken she is about issues going on in the world. We also talked about voice memos and how useful they are in friendships as a kind of therapy. She spoke about her wonderful mum who inspired her, who has since passed, and her close friendship to her son Ziggy. We also discussed how hard it is saving for a house on your own in this country, our broken childcare system, and how she feels women are very much discriminated against in the workplace. I really hope you enjoy this conversation. To all my gorgeous listeners, because every parent deserves peace of mind, I'm thrilled to share that this episode is brought to you in partnership with Optimal Follow-On Milk, the #1 follow-on milk brand in Ireland. Optimal Follow-On Milk is a product you can trust. It's specially designed to support babies' growth and development as it contains calcium and vitamin D, which contributes to the normal growth and development of bone. With over 50 years of dedicated breast milk research, Optimal Follow-On Milk brings science and care together to support your baby's journey. Optimal Follow-On Milk, your life, our science. Important notice. Breastfeeding is best. Follow-on milk should be used as part of a mixed diet from 6 months. Please speak to a healthcare professional for advice. To verify #1, contact the Optimal Care Line. I have an absolutely brilliant guest on. I've wanted to have her on. There had to be a perfect time for so many varied, that sounds really intense and private, but there were so many reasons that I couldn't have her on, and now I have her. So I have social media, like creative director, badass business bitch, ex-hack, mom of one, doing it on her own, now house owner, speaker of truths on Instagram, advocating for children in Gaza and everywhere else, and just so awesome. I have Laura Cunningham.
That was some intro.
Well, you're some woman, would you agree?
Thank you so much. That's very kind.
You are some woman.
It's very nice to hear all
I
that.
feel very energized by you. And the funny thing about Instagram is we're like, Instagram. And I'm like, well, fuck off. I find so many great people on Instagram.
Oh, totally.
And then I get rid of the ones that I don't like.
Yeah, to the world now.
You're just, there's no bullshit with you, Laura Cunningham. Was there ever?
I don't think so. I think I literally am my mother, and she was the same. Just very straight talking, to the point. I hope not to to the point of rudeness, but there's empathy there. But I just, very straight talking, always have been. So
you call it out.
Yeah. I have a very keen sense of injustice, and if something is wrong, it really, really pisses me off.
Why do you have that?
Well, I've learned later in life that I have ADHD, and apparently that's quite comes hand in hand with it. This sort of justice thing. There's a medical term for it, but when something is unfair, it really irritates us. We take it personally.
Yeah.
So whether it's ADHD related or not, I just things really annoy me. Big things, not little things.
Yeah. Laura does a fashion reel, Get Ready With Me the other day, and you do a lot of different stuff regarding interiors, raising your beautiful boy Ziggy, and fashion, beauty. You do really good beauty stuff, actually. That was a whole new, I was like, whoa. And it was a little segue into the despicable acts that are going on in Gaza and have been going on for decades, but also particularly at the moment, what is going on. And it was just such yes, she gets what she's trying to do here, whether it's so important. And I just thought, well done you.
Thank you.
Because it could have just been a bullshit reel.
Yeah. Sometimes you just can't
turn away.
Keep up with the boring Instagram stuff. There's days when I think we all really, really feel it. I mean, fortunately or unfortunately, no matter depending what way you look at it, we do have this ability to kind of keep putting one foot in front of the other, mostly for our own families and our own children. We can't sit in a pit of despair all day, every day about it, but some days you just can't help it, and you just can't kind of keep plodding along, and it gets in on you a lot. So.
It's survival. It's the don't look away, and then of course you look away because you're like, I have to put my baby to bed, and if I actually looked at this, it would be too real. But I think there's a few of you, I had Sheila Shoga on the podcast last season, there's a few, not everyone, calling out and I hope that it means that when this time passes and whatever the outcome, but it's already been, to be honest, it's already bad. So it doesn't really, it's the damage is done. You want to know that you stood on what side, you know? And I think thankfully you'll know what side you stood on, and it was the right side.
Yeah, and look, there's a lot of people who are now kind of coming around to that, and they're starting to get involved now, and I just think it's never too late. So I would never discourage anyone from that. I've talked about this quite a lot. There are a few people online who spend more time talking about other people not talking about it than actually talking about it themselves. Kind of calling people out for not boycotting. You know,
certain brands and stuff. Yeah,
not even brands. Like, a lot of influencers get a lot of stick. Only the girls, obviously, because the men are just completely immune to all criticism. It seems.
And they're doing such a great job,
aren't they? Just the great boys. But they're great boys altogether. But the women are obviously just terrible human beings. So yeah, I kind of don't get involved in it, and I often say to people when they will message me saying, "You're the only one who's talking about this," and I'll say, you know, let's just like keep our eyes on the prize. Yeah. Like, attacking each other is not going to help.
You're such a good girl. It's actually just like, I'm busy doing this.
Yeah, exactly. And also, you know, no one who is talking about it is doing it because they want to, you know, be congratulated over it. So let's stop talking about who is a good girl and who's a bad girl, and let's just actually try and do something, you know.
Who knows? I know just even more horse shit yesterday, and who knows what's going to happen to these poor people. It's absolutely rotten, devastating. And if you think about the world we're living in, and the fact that your career is built through social media, journalism and social media now, and mine is in a way too, and to a lesser extent, and you think about the fact that this is so visceral, we can see it, we can hear it, we can view it. It doesn't really make sense. And what world are we in 2025? Because back in the day, it felt like images weren't sent around the world, you'd hope.
Yeah, we can't say we didn't know.
We can't say we didn't know. No. Isn't it bizarre?
Yeah, it is. It's absolutely bizarre. And I think it says so much about like the human experience that we can carry on.
Yeah.
But then, you know, you see amazing things being done as well, and kind of I said yesterday, like, so myself and my friend Heather were running this fundraiser for the last number of weeks.
Yeah.
And we tried to get 25 grand, and I think it ended up at 62.5 grand or something like that. But you see, again, I don't want to be congratulated for that.
But we're the boss. Like, it's not about congratulating you. It's just like, you started something that got to this, and great.
But because people
But you worry about where that's going
for something to
getting
do.
In?
Well, it's Mothers Against Genocide, who I'm sure you know, who are like...
They're brilliant, yeah.
Oh my God, they're absolutely amazing. Now, they actually deserve all of our applause and our praise.
They are awesome.
They're working with the trusted grassroots team who are on the ground in Gaza. So they are getting water trucks. They can't bring water trucks in, but they're actually like... It's incredible what you can do out of like need. So they're pumping water from the seabed, and they're taking the salt out of it and purifying it. Wow. And it's not as good as fresh water, but it's life-saving at this stage. So
and they've accounts, like, I'm trying to think about this, my mind is blown. Like, the 60k, like, it goes into an account, and in Gaza you can get money through a wired I'm honestly just like, how? It's
bizarre, and it costs money to even send money. And then people are wondering, well, how is there any food in there? But there's a lot of kind of this black market stuff going on. There is aid being stockpiled in certain places, and then that's being sold on for like massive inflated prices.
Do we feel like Hamas are still really blocking food? Like, do we feel like they're really integral part of this, or is that all noise?
I mean, I couldn't say, but to me that's noise. I mean, ultimately, the only people who are capable of opening those borders are
the Israelis.
Israel.
Yeah. Okay.
And I mean, they're sending, you know, like, ships are sailing in international waters where Israel are not even allowed to intercept them, and they're doing it anyway. They're kidnapping them. They're not even arresting them because they're not allowed to, because it's international waters. So there's only, they are completely stopping it, and it's horrendous. And I just hope at some point something will end, and also that they will be held accountable.
These are parents on the ground, and that's why I kind of wanted to open with that, because we are parents in a completely different world, living in privilege and thankfully safety. But if we don't talk about the elephant in the room, what are we doing? I met Laura years and years ago, but I knew of you and had seen and heard and knew that you were badass and brilliant. But I met you on a junket and then watched you become a mother a few years later. So for anyone who doesn't know, Laura, and most of you do, is the mama to Ziggy, who's a divine creature. And you mama with full self and heart, I think, and you just seem to do it in a really like honest and authentic way. And then you show us all these other aspects of your life. But you, for people who don't know, because I didn't even know the ins and outs, you were in a relationship that ended, but very soon into having Ziggy that ended.
No, before. Okay. So it's been just me from the start.
Okay.
So, I mean, don't get me wrong, he has a relationship with his dad, but yeah, it's just been me and Zig since day one. And I think in some ways that's been good. I mean, particularly for Ziggy, because that's all he's ever known. He wasn't in a situation that then ended and changed, which, you know, might bring its own challenges. So it's always been us. And then I suppose we got to decide what the setup was from the start. I got to decide what my boundaries were in the whole thing. And I'm really, like, deliriously happy. I mean, it's very hard, but I'm very happy.
Yeah, let's pick that apart. Like, a relationship ends, and for whatever reason, you both make choices, and you're having this baby no matter what. And you wanted to obviously have a baby, did you? You want to have, yeah. And you go and do that. And I guess immediately I think of all the challenges, because I have 2 kids and I have a partner, and I go there, and I just love how you're like, no, I was deliriously happy. Initially, when you were like going it alone, was it an emotional mindfuck? Was it hugely challenging? Or was it like, no, I've made a firm choice here and I'm good?
Yeah, I mean, I think I saw my mom do it, and you know,
with 2 kids, she had 2, was
she
it?
Had 2, yeah, on her own.
Okay.
And I mean, she, you know, wouldn't have had any of the kind of like privileges that I even have now as well. So it was very, very difficult for her. So I suppose I was aware that it wasn't going to be a walk in the park, but it was something that I've always wanted.
Wow.
And I suppose I got to a point where I thought it wasn't going to happen to me at all. So from day dot, I just felt so lucky. He was a COVID baby, so, you know, you might think, okay, that must be really difficult. But actually, I think selfishly, it made it like a little bit of an easier and more peaceful experience for me. Nobody was going anywhere. When I was at home with a child on my boob for months on ends, no one was heading off to music festivals and holidays and having a great time. There was no FOMO.
Yeah.
Not at all. And I'm kind of, I'm okay with my own company and stuff. So like babies, this is a sweeping generalization, but they're kind of easier than when they start walking and they're running around, and it's very physically exhausting. But, you know, that point wasn't, like, it wasn't really, really difficult to do on my own, because for the most part, and a lot of people will completely understand this, it's all you at that point anyway. You can have people who'll take the baby for a few minutes here and there, but if you're like a breastfeeding mother, like the child is strapped to you 24/7.
How long did you breastfeed?
A year.
Okay, wow, well done, brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, I was very lucky. It all kind of went well.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I always say that about it went well. Breastfeeding is one of those things that is difficult even when it's well, even when it goes well.
Yeah.
Like, it's just hard. It's
tiring, it's relentless, it's all you. Yeah.
And I mean, I had all the bits. I never got mastitis, but I had, you know, the pain at times and all those other things. But, you know, in general, I was very, very lucky. My supply was fine, all of those things. But yeah, for the full year. And then he had a little virus. He was very sick the whole time, you know, and everyone was just sick. Not when I say sick, he just had a virus. He's had really good health, thankfully. But he couldn't like breathe through his nose. He was all bunged up one day. So he didn't feed for about 2 days. And then when he was better, he just never latched back on. So that was it. So
it was like the withdrawal of that, and it was quite cold turkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was time to move on, and I'd been talking about moving on and all that stuff. But there was a little bit of like, I didn't get my last feed. I was a bit like,
come on. That's a lie. I took a photo the night before I went on a trip. Yeah. I took a photo, and I was holding her and she's feeding, and I was like, I bet she's still going to want it on Monday when I'm back after the weekend. But I took this photo, and I do remember, looking at that while I was away and feeling very emotional. I think the whole thing is emotional.
Yeah, it really is.
You were like, I was all in. I didn't need some baby dad or baby mama to help me on this road. I think as women, it's all on you, even if you are happily married or not. Did you find it lonely at times being a mom? Like, is there loneliness, or were you like, well, it's him and I against the world?
I mean, definitely, you know, and there's still times now where it is a bit, I suppose it is a bit lonely. I think you're so in it though, and it's so all-consuming. I think I'm getting to the point now where I'm now starting to feel a bit like, I mean, he's great crack now, you know, he's 5 and we have a really good friendship, so I don't feel lonely at all when I'm with him. But, you know, I'm starting to kind of maybe come back to myself a little bit, to the point where I'm looking and going, I haven't actually been on a holiday in a long time. I haven't gone to a music festival. Like, there was a couple of things that I had, like tickets that I had to gigs this summer that I didn't get to go to because I didn't have childcare and stuff. And I'm starting to feel a little bit like I'm kind of, the FOMO is coming back.
Yes.
But I actually genuinely, I'm flipping that on its head. I think it's a good thing. I think it's me like actually wanting to have my own life again. And I didn't really, not that it was a choice. I had no choice. Yeah. But now I can. And now I'm like, okay, so that'll start to happen. And he's a bit older now, so, you know, he's going to go to school. He's starting to have little friends in our new area. You know, eventually I will maybe be able to kind of go and do a bit more of my stuff and kind of feed my soul a bit more. Sorry, I'm tapping my microphone. Be able to kind of feed my own, you know, soul a bit more. So, like, I think it's all happening very naturally. So I don't sit there and go, I'm so lonely, what am I going to do? I just kind of go, this is a phase of my life. And I'm going to come in and out of them, and it's fine.
You're very calm. You're very like considered about choices you've made and the life you've led. Does that come from your childhood, or is it just innately? You seem very, in a way, I always overanalyze or overthink. Like you seem very like, this is how it is.
I think it's just therapy.
Okay, great. Wish more people would advocate for that on the podcast. They're all just like, no, things came naturally. So you do a lot of therapy.
What? I have really good female friends as well, and like, you know, I have like my like very, very closest best friend, practically me, Heather, or whatever. We're like, when you have someone constantly to bounce stuff off, I think that really helps. And
the voice memos.
Yes.
They're therapy.
They are therapy. And we're also part of like a WhatsApp group full of like very close female friends as well. And when I tell you, we tell each other everything. They're going to be listening to this being like, do not tell her anything.
Women are amazing. We
just tell each other everything. Like I have to
clear my chats because I'm like, that's fucked up shit.
Oh, same. Like it's bad. Like we always say, if anyone found this.
I know. I always wonder, I'm going to pass away in the night and my kid will know this shit about me. And that's not a good legacy.
No, we need to do something like a yearly wipe of our...
I try. Yeah, of all of our IP or what is like...
Our digital footprint, yeah, just delete it all. But yeah, I really think that helps because nothing to me feels like this isn't normal. I can't tell you how many times I've WhatsApped that group and said, is this normal?
Like, this is creepy, right?
Yeah. And you get all these messages back being like, oh, you think that's bad? And then you're like, okay, all right. I genuinely think that helps. Like,
it does
like
help.
More than anything. Like that would help. Like I don't have a mum, unfortunately. She died a long time ago. So I think that has nearly replaced that for me, you know, because a lot of people would be straight onto their mum being like, what'll I do?
When did your mum die, Laura?
In 2013. So is that 11 years ago now? It'll be 12 years ago. 12 years this Christmas
What did she die from?
She had breast cancer which metastasized. So she was only sick for about a year and a half altogether. And she was very young. She was only 56.
That's so young.
Yeah, it's terrifyingly young. So
were you close?
Yeah, we were. I mean, we had a very like different relationship than a lot of people have with their moms. It's always a funny one to talk to. Like I loved her so much, and I have more respect for her than anyone I've ever known. Like she was the best person, like good to the absolute bone. But I don't know. I feel like sometimes I'm doing her a disservice, kind of saying these things. But we definitely had a little bit of a like. We were a little bit distant, you know. She kind of kept me a little bit at arm's length, and like that I was saying earlier on, she was very blunt and to the point. You know what I mean? We didn't kind of go and hang out together much, you know. And yeah, and I've had to kind of work through a bit of that stuff as well myself.
Why do you think there was distance? Was it her own demons, or she couldn't attach to? Did she have her own stuff to? Because it wasn't a lack of love for you. People
no,
say,
certainly
oh,
not.
You don't know. Oh no, not all, but that's not it. Like, why do you think mums have sometimes a disconnect? And like, I sometimes struggle as a mother of these two gorgeous daughters, and I know they need so much from me, and sometimes I can't give it because I don't have it.
I mean, I think that's it. I think it's just capacity, isn't it? There is absolutely no question about how much she loved her children, and her whole life was for them up to a certain point, obviously, until we were adults. But she was one of 13.
What?
Yeah. And they lived in like a 2 up, 2 down in Harold's Cross. And
13.
Yeah. So they were, you know, it was out to work as soon as you were ready and stuff. Jesus. So whatever the opposite to mollycoddled was, that's probably what her life was. You know what I mean? So maybe it just kind of, she didn't have that sort of like, my children are everything, and I'm, you know, honestly, anyone who knew her knew that everything she did was for us. So there was no question about that.
But there wasn't that soft love or the snogging you every day or telling you you're so beautiful and talented, Laura. It wasn't that love.
No.
A lot of us didn't get that. I also think that is a generation though, Laura. Like,
yeah. It probably is.
I don't have that many friends who have these. Some do, and you see it on Insta, or you see them going away for weekends, or they're sitting in hot tubs, or going to Paris, and like,
yeah.
I don't think all of us have those.
I'm so jealous of that.
Are you?
I'm so jealous
of that.
You struggle
with that, yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, it's hard. And I think it hits hard.
Yeah.
And it's a pang.
It's probably harder when your mom is still around and you don't have that. You know,
yeah.
I think it's that they're two very similar experiences probably. But, so yeah. But I do know for an absolute fact.
Mother-daughter relationships, and I have these two girls now, and a lot of women around me with girls, and I do think it's a pressure cooker of... I think there's all this weirdness about competing with daughters and competing with yourself, and energies and envy of what they've made of themselves, and deconstructing them and control 100%. And I really have to watch myself trying not to pass comment and try and make them good girls or better or perfect or beautiful, because I felt like that generation was all about be beautiful and smart and kind and quiet and accepting and all the things that have completely fucked me up.
Yeah.
And I find maybe it's different, and I don't want to comment because I don't have a boy, to how you parent a boy, but I think the relationship between mother and daughter is so wild.
Yeah. And I mean, I think I'm probably glad I don't have a girl, because maybe I wouldn't really know how to try and construct that perfect mother-daughter relationship, because I didn't have it, you know. Or maybe I would go the total opposite way.
Go the other way, you probably would, yeah.
Yeah. But I knew she was around for my brother's first 2 kids.
Wow.
So I tell you what, she was a different grandparent, and I know a lot of people think this. Yep. She was soft as all hell for those.
That's hard, isn't it?
No, it was amazing, honestly.
Okay,
and
amazing,
when
good.
the 2 of them came along, like it brought like new life into the whole family. You know what I mean? It was absolutely amazing. Like they're both 6 foot odd now, which is incredible. And my brother has 2 little guys now as well. One is 4 months younger than Ziggy, so they're besties. Like they're amazing. But yeah, I think that's one thing I do know about my mom. If she was here,
she would adore him.
She would adore him.
Would it have brought you even? Do you think actually that connection, that you becoming a mom and that changing of you would have brought, or do you think it was always going to be the way your relationship was always just going to be that little bit different? You don't know.
I 100% think it would have.
Yeah.
And it's the hardest part for me. Well, the number one hardest part is that she didn't get to know Ziggy, and he talks about her all the time. But the second part is that I know, like, I understand her so much more now.
Yeah.
I find it very emotional to talk about, but I just know, I think this would have been our time, you know, and we didn't get that.
That's so fucking hard.
It's so hard. So yeah, I grieve for him.
Love and then losing them. It's like you met her, but you didn't get all of her, and having him would have maybe opened her to softness.
I really think so. Yeah. So, and he doesn't help either. He talks about her all the time. His nanny Jackie, he'll just bring it up and he'll just say, you know, I'm so sad that nanny Jackie didn't stay to meet me and stuff. And oh my God, it's so hard. Yeah.
Was she like you? Because you are, you're softy, but you're hardcore. Was she strong like you? Like, were there traits that you're so proud of?
Yeah. Oh my God, so many.
Proud of your choices you made, even in raising him, and the choice you made to do that. And
I think so. And
yeah,
the biggest compliment that anyone can give me now is that I'm like my mom. Really, even though, you know, we had our stuff, like, and people do say that to me sometimes, and it
Laura,
absolutely,
that makes me sad.
I love, yeah. I think stuff that I can talk about now. No, I don't look like her really at all. But she's gone now, so I can talk about this, and she can't give out to me. But she did a lot of work behind the scenes that no one was ever allowed to know about. So she worked with St. Vincent de Paul for years and years as a volunteer alongside her full-time job, and she would tell us, don't mention that to anyone, you know, and we would only know really because she'd need a hand with like sorting the Christmas presents at Christmas to deliver to kids or whatever it was. And she just did, her worst nightmare would have been someone thinking that she was this do-gooder and people wanting to think that she, you know, was trying to impress people by doing it. She didn't want anyone to know. So it was all covert.
She didn't need validation. She didn't need anyone showbizzing her. So there was a lovely silent kindness in her. And she was just doing. She came from 13. She probably knew of the things you didn't have in life.
Exactly.
Wow.
And she would say, like, she would have needed help at the start with us, you know, because she was completely on her own and wouldn't have been able to work. She had these 2 young kids. So
Your dad wasn't on the scene?
He was in and out. He's not at all now.
And she remarried, you said?
She did, yeah.
When was that? When you were teens, or were you younger?
It was my 19th birthday, actually, so we were
adults.
How
did you find that? Were you like, who's this dude? Or were you lovely about it?
So he came into our lives, hi Robbie, when I was 15 and Stephen was 16, I think, and there was definitely argy-bargy and you're not my real dad and everything, but he never ever tried to be. Like, he didn't want to be. He was 9 years younger than my mum. Yeah.
Oh, no way.
So he was a very young man. You know what I mean? There was no way he was like, he was taking us on. I know. So they were together for many years, and then they were married for I think was it 18 years they were together, and then 18 years married, and then my mum died.
So she had a love story.
Oh, she did, yeah.
Okay, good.
And I was just so happy that she had that, because it was like she wasn't on her own then, and she deserved that after everything she'd been through, you know. So, but he's the best in the world. So, yeah.
Why did you call your Bobo Ziggy?
It's a question I get asked a lot.
I love it.
And you asked me in a very nice, friendly, curiosity way. But people have very judgy about the name.
I have a daughter called Gia, and when she came out, the midwife said, "Is it because she came out of your Gia?" And it was a joke, but I do remember thinking, no, it's nothing to do with my Gia or my Gia.
Who says that?
Yeah.
That
I loved
is
it
incredible.
I just had a shitty labour, so I kind of love that she'd gone there. But Gia isn't maybe the most typical name, and that's cool. But Ziggy, and I remember watching that show, Big Little Liar.
Oh, apparently there's a Ziggy in it.
Go on, is there a reason, or is it to do with
No,
David Bowie,
it was very random, and I wanted an E name, and I was considering Teddy, but then a few other Teddys kind of popped up around me. Other people had Teddys around me, so it was a bit like he just would have been one of a few. And I scoured the internet for names beginning with E or ending in that E sound for ages, and I just couldn't come up with anything. And then one day, there it was on the very, obviously because it's Z, the very last one, and I said it to his dad. Obviously he had to veto names and stuff as well.
Did he like it?
And immediately loved it. Now he'd be a big David Bowie fan,
music person,
so he was probably like amazing, like Ziggy Stardust. But I have this tattoo, and it's nothing to do with it. And actually, his dad has this tattoo as well.
That's really funny.
And then,
that's really funny.
But this was completely unrelated. But people, I think they think we have them because it's
Ziggy Stardust.
Yeah, no, that was just completely.
He suits it, and I don't know your son. I have never met him, just to say and to caveat. But like, even from initial kind of, and I don't think you show his face anymore.
Not anymore, no.
But you used to do bits and pieces. But he's a Ziggy, right?
He just is Ziggy,
like
yeah.
My Gia is a Gia. Like he is a Ziggy.
Yeah, and people will say to me, "Are you worried that he won't like it when he grows up?" Which is such a loaded question because it's
so
obviously
weird.
Like you think he won't like it.
Such a rejection. It's like, do you think he's happy?
Yeah.
Are you happy?
Are you sure that you've done the right thing to him? Like, yeah, back off. And yeah, I am sure he'll like it. And sometimes people do say to him, like, that's a very unusual name or something. So I think he's aware that it's a bit unique.
Cool.
But then I grew up, I was one of 4 Lauras in my primary school class. I was just not doing that to hhim. And then everywhere you go, there's another Laura. Like, every office I've ever worked in, every media company, there's all the Lauras. Well, there's no Laura Cunningham, but yeah, actually, it's funny enough, you know Laura Birmingham.
Yes.
We used to get sent each other's posts and stuff because their names are so similar. But yeah, there's just loads of Lauras, and I think there are lots of names. I won't name them now, but like there are lots of names where there are like everyone knows 5 little girls called X name, and you know what I mean. And I just didn't want that.
Yeah.
But I also didn't want it to be really unusual, so I didn't think I'd pick something like Ziggy. But then I saw it, and I was just like, it's absolutely perfect. I just think it's so cute. Like,
when did the decision come about the non-face social stuff? Because you are very heavily curating your feed. It's beautiful. Then you do really like we were just speaking. There's also political activism. Then there's your career. You got to make a dime, right? But like, when did you go no more facey?
It was after, I think it was his 3rd birthday. I'm pretty sure it was the 3rd birthday. It was the one I had in the farm. That I just remember that because it's the last photograph that went up, and I actually deleted them all shortly after that.
Did you?
I just get sent weird messages sometimes, and because I am very outspoken about certain issues, I get abusive messages all the time. It's water off a duck's back. They don't really bother me. It's not like the whole, like, say, the tattle thing where you're being criticised and people commenting on you, whatever. It's like mental right-wing Americans sliding into your DMs, which is kind of actually easier to take even when they're threatening you physically, because you're like, you're just mental. Is it?
No. It's kind of hot on a Tuesday morning. No, it's awful.
It's just, but honestly, I'm just like, oh, whatever, just block.
He doesn't need that. Yeah.
But yeah, I think I can't invite him into that space. And I knew at a certain point I would stop. It wasn't one of these things where I was like, no, I'm completely proud of putting my child all over the internet.
And do you feel sad in a way, and this is it's not a loaded question, but like, do you feel sad in a way because he's a cutie Laruti, he's this little personality, you want to sometimes maybe look at other people who are influencers and they talk to their kids and you want to have him as a personality, but you're also aware that's for him to choose someday.
Yeah,
it's hard, isn't it?
He's at the point now where
I put Simone up and then I delete it because I'm like, I shouldn't have put that pic up. Oh, she was so cute then, and people are like, why are you sharing? Oh, I'm proud, but I really struggle. I'm in a bit of a weird limbo land now where I'm like, do they need to go up on Insta? Probably not.
Do you know what? I think it's a balance, right? If people know lots about your life, like what you do, where you go, where you are, the things that you care about, putting your child into that is like you're giving away so much about them. Whereas if you're just putting up photographs of your child and people don't really, it's out of context.
Be on holiday, here's a pic.
I think that's different.
She won a race, but it's not like, here we are walking to our favourite. No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay.
I think it's different. Like I'm telling people, I would be telling people so much about him. And then, like, here's his face as well. I just think it's a bit dodge.
Okay.
Yeah, but he is so cute that I wish people could see him.
He's very cute.
He's so cute.
And he looks like he's action-packed, is he? Or is he chill?
He's like, do you know, he is. Yeah, he's pretty, like, he's all go, but like, not, he's very good. I'm very lucky. Like, he's very good. Like, there's no stress with him really. Like,
can I ask this without asking about your vagina and for you getting offended or for that? Would you love to have more children or siblings or not? Or you don't even have to go there. Well, I'm Rebecca right now. I'm thinking of having a baby, but like, Do you want a big family or not?
No, so I'm nearly 45 now and I'm single, so like
looks about-
highly unlikely anyway. I also just got a
How
coil
is that
put
highly
in.
unlikely?
Well, because I'm 45 single and I just got a coil put in. So like,
Stop.
the odds are stacking up against me. No, I was done when I was pregnant, not in a negative way. I wasn't like, I'm never doing this again. But I was just like, I felt fulfilled by him since before I even had him. I don't feel like I need another one.
This is it now.
Yeah. And like, I suppose there's times when I feel like, oh, is this going to be okay for him? And like, so he's obviously the only child in our house, but he's going to school now. He's getting little friends. We're very busy. Life is very busy. You know what I mean? Like
You are very busy.
Yeah.
Like you lived with your bro for a while before you got into your home, which was kind of gorgeous to watch. This whole, like this felt like such a minding of your brother having you there. You were saving, like you are so cool, right? This woman is not like being given massive inheritance. She doesn't have some tech bro, bringing home the juice. Like you worked, and it's a great story, and there's heroics in there, but also you're proud mama, and you did this on your own. You got into your house. I bawled. I don't know why. I was obviously fucking hormonal, but like I just remember you got into your house. I was like, why am I crying for Laura Cunningham on this? You got into that house and holy shit kebabs.
Yeah, it nearly killed me. It really did. It's very, very difficult. And I lived with my brother in Cavan for 2 years so that we could save for the house. And like, we didn't just move in there so we could save for the house. I needed to be there at that time. Like, and it was amazing. And my brother and his wife are two of my best friends in the world. And they didn't run, but it was their idea. They were like, come in, move in with us. And like I say, their son is 4 months younger than mine. So like Ziggy and Albie were like brothers, and they still are. They're obsessed with each other. So that was like, it'll always be one of the best times of my life. But it was also extremely difficult because I was working in Dublin, parenting between the ages of 2 and 4 year old, saving for a house. Like it was.
Who is minding Ziggy
lot.
when you're working in Dublin? Because work is work.
So basically we were out the door at like 6:30 in the morning, whatever, and he was into creche as soon as the door was open, and then straight on the road up to work.
And then we know creche
straight
fees
back
kill
down.
us. My creche fees killed us, and I have stepped away from my job. Like creche fees are a killer.
It's unbelievable when you think about it. Like
Unbelievable.
his creche fees are more than my mortgage. So, but that was the only window of opportunity we had, and it was.
And
I'll never be.
I'm
so grateful. Yeah, I was like, this is going to kill me, but I'm doing it because otherwise, even now, like in the year that I've had my house, the property market has gone worse. Like I don't think I'd actually get my mortgage now. And
were they good?
Ago.
So talk to me. You're a media gal. You were doing it on your own, going into the banks. Like, let's break it down. Were they good to you about getting this mortgage? Did you find it easy? Did you find the whole thing horrendous?
It wasn't too bad, but actually, there's a couple of things that really annoyed me.
Yeah.
If I can talk about them.
Yes.
So do you know? So you get the Help to Buy scheme if you buy a new build.
Okay.
And it's not just a grant.
Did you buy a new build?
I did. I bought a new build.
I didn't know that.
It's the only way I was getting a house because I needed the Help to Buy, and you only get the Help to Buy if it's a new build house. So, and that's 30 grand, and people think you just apply for it and you're given 30 grand, but it's actually a refund of your dirt tax for the last 4 years. Okay. So if you haven't been working for 4 years, then you're not entitled to it, basically. Most people who have been working full time for the 4 years and then apply for it will be given 30 grand, and you can use that as your deposit. Okay. So once you can prove that you've been saving, or if you've been paying mega rent, it makes it accessible. Now, it's pushing the house prices up, and actually it's not a good like economic thing.
System. Okay.
No, it's not. But for those who need it, it's pretty much the only way in. But I hadn't been working for 4 years. Why? Because I had taken a year off to have a child.
Okay.
So I only got a portion of the Help to Buy, whereas...
But you had been working in consulting, and you had been working. Are you saying you hadn't
my
been
maternity leave, basically.
For fuck's sake.
Yeah. So because I left work and didn't work for just over a year and then went back into work, so I only got 3/4 of the Help to Buy scheme. Whereas in that scenario, so say a dad in that scenario who or the partner who did not have to take off work
We'll get that.
the full and
so that's discrimination, correct?
It's discrimination. And I mean, I know you can say, well, it's a refund of the tax and you didn't pay, blah, blah, but how many...
I don't give a shit. It's discrimination. Stop.
It is.
Stop.
It's awful.
It's like women who are self-employed who are like getting on a bean on mat leave or get anything. Or there's no...
Or if you have a couple of kids back to back, so you're not working for a couple of years and then you go back and you're not even entitled to your free teeth clean anymore. Like, sorry, somebody has to have these babies. It's absolute discrimination. Even if you are someone who's like, well, I don't want kids, so I don't understand that and I can't be... You were a kid. Like, somebody had to do that for you at some point. Every single person.
You come from a woman.
Yeah, none of us were born as adults. So even if you feel like that doesn't affect you because you're not a parent, you were a child. So, society has to look after that structure and that system, or else what would we do?
Do we have an issue in Ireland with that?
Oh my God, massive issue. Like, even the fact that the childcare system is just a mess in Ireland. It is absolutely disgraceful. It needs to be it needs to be free. But also our maternity leave system.
Where it's fabulous, like it's just so
it should be like that everywhere. Because again, like that, it affects absolutely everyone. Even if you're not the people having the kids, you were a child. You know, you need to be part of a system that is just better. I have friends who live in New Zealand. They get 6 months off each in the year.
I know.
Both
and then
parents.
All your tech friends who work in the Googles or whatever, and they're like, oh, he's got the 6 months. I'm like, what? I don't think Jason had a week off. And I'm sitting there with my tit out crying, breastfeeding my second kid, and the other one's, the 3-year-old is like touching. I'm like, and I was privileged. I wasn't sitting there with nothing and like in an awful hard world, but it still was hard, right? We spoke there briefly about summer holidays coming up. So yes, the childcare system is broken. You pay creche fees. Ziggy is now going to go into school, but school we know finishes at 12 or 1, right? So then what, you just don't work, is it, Laura? Like, I'm just trying to understand it.
I think this is a bit that they don't warn you about, because you think, right, they're going to be in creche and then they're going to go to school.
No,
and people
really
talk
hard
about school as in like they go there and finally you're not paying creche fees anymore. But school is not childcare, for starters. It shouldn't be, and it isn't.
I think we should be getting money throughout the summer months as parents to help with all of the extra stuff, the back to school, the holidays, the camps, even just the basics of feeding. Like I'm finding now that the kids aren't in creche and school every day and getting the hot food. Food is so expensive.
Yeah.
So all of this is a shit show.
Absolutely. And I mean, they're given free childcare, you know, for the 3 hours a day, the ECC and stuff. But I mean, maybe even if that was continued during the summer, so people would have some sort of opportunity to work, you know, they could do a half-day camp and then maybe some childcare. You're just kind of left to fend for yourself. I'm genuinely not sure how we're going to cope, but here we are.
For the autumn, so he'll be in school till what, 12 or 1?
Yeah, so he's in after school care, and he's actually going back to the place he's in preschool in for after school. So that's fine.
And you have to do that, right?
But the breaks in between school, I'm not sure exactly what we'll do, but I mean, we're probably lucky as well that we live in cities and there are these places and there are options.
There's hubs.
Yeah, but
imagine you're in rural Ireland and you're like, can't just throw him in the camp down the road or up at the park with his mate, or you really have difficult to build your own village. Have you built that, or are you still struggling with that?
I haven't yet. Now, we're new in our area, so we just bought a house in a brand new area last year, because you have to buy a house wherever they'll give you a house. But he's going to school now. I'm just starting to get to know a couple of neighbours, and he has 2 little friends on the road now that he made recently. I'm so thrilled about it. And like, I had a cup of tea with 2 of the mums this week and stuff.
Okay,
so
that's nice.
Hopefully that will start to build as well. Because I really want to be, you know, they say if you want a village, you have to be a villager. I'm dying to be a villager. I'm like, give me your kids, I will mind them. I'm happy to do.
It's tit for tat. And I actually have found that, Laura, you can be very critical of the no village now, because if you're not close to your parents, you don't live near them, or you don't have that community, which lots of us don't have anymore, you're building it. And like, we purposely live in a kind of an estatey thing to do that. And actually, I used to be a bit like, oh, they won't take... If you take a kid, someone will take them back. They'll inevitably save your life when you're late picking up. If you just ask, people are actually so sound.
Yeah,
like,
I have
honestly,
to ask.
No, they are. Like, I'm half an hour late, I'm stuck on it. I'm there, I'm good. I'll take her back and give her soup. What? And you start to go, if you actually stop the martyrdom and give in, people will help. Yeah.
Because like, I wouldn't hesitate, obviously, to say yes to somebody. So why would they? I have to go into it with that mindset of like, people want to help.
What do you do for a living, and do you work very hard for your money? Because I think we see content creators or creative directors of people like you who, you know, yes, you're really open and real and authentic, but you do live a kind of fun, exciting, glamorous life. Tell me how hard we work for our money. It's hard, right?
It is hard, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't have it any other way now. So I started working for myself from late last year, and...
Was that scary?
Absolutely terrifying.
Because you were always employed, right? Until you
always, yeah.
Same as me.
But it definitely would have been more difficult to have a structured 9 to 5 with Zig. So now I can be a bit more flexible. Now, I mean, you end up working more hours because you're working for yourself.
Did you register a company? Like, are you a proper little company gal?
I am.
Okay,
it's called Birdie. So
What's it called?
Birdie. Yeah, thanks. So I basically do social media consultancy and content creation for a number of brands. And then I've also started doing wedding content creation some as well.
She was a badass wedding.
I can't get away from the wedding.
No, you can't. So funny.
So yeah, it's all the stuff that I love to do and I would do naturally anyway. And it's been really nice to kind of grow in that, even just like by myself as well. Like, I feel like I'm really confident in my work now, and even though this is new, I've been working on it for years and years, really. So.
Did you have a wobble? I feel like you're a strong, confident chick, but like, did you have a wobble or an insecurity moment, or not imposter, because I hate that word, because it's nearly self-prophesizing, but like, when you went out on your own, did you go, who's going to want me? Who will hire me? Am I good? Or were you like, I fucking hate it?
Like, I didn't doubt myself, but I suppose I was just hoping that like the work would be there and that it would come, but it all has, thankfully, like, and I haven't had to chase after it too badly. I hope I'm not jinxing myself now.
Did you
but,
have old client people you'd always worked with coming back out of the...
and like it's all been through word of mouth, which is really nice. So, and there's lots of kind of new stuff coming along, and
So tomorrow I offer you a big job in media or in a corporate or something, and I'm like, it's 9 to 5. Laura, I'm going to give you this job and the salary. Would you ever go back?
No, I don't think so. Not right now.
It's so interesting.
Yeah.
Everyone says that to me.
Yeah.
Everyone says you'll never look back. I'm like, why? What's scary? Yeah, it's scary. You have to do your own tax. You have to get your shit together. You have to have your ducks in a row. You have to work for it. But you run your own time.
Yeah, you do. And I think you need to be able to do that whether you're a parent or not. You get to a certain point in your life where I don't know, I just feel a little bit like I need a little bit more control over it. Particularly coming out of the back of the last few years where I've been a hamster on a wheel, just commuting, working, just trying to get everything done. I was constantly running, Rebecca, constantly, like it was,
You don't even know yourself.
dashing from creche to get to work on time, dashing home to get him on time. Like it just, hamster on a wheel. So now I need to feel like I can sit down and I can plan my week. It's, oh my God, it's
what builds you up? Like,
needed.
are you a workout chick? Are you a fashion chick? Do you like a glass of a margarita and playing poker? Like what actually fills you up?
I love day drinking. No, I actually do. No, I love I suppose, well, say for example, if it's my birthday soon, and with two friends, one of my friends has a mobile home in Wexford, and the three of us are just going down there, and we're going to just go for a treatment in a local hotel and just stay in there and just have a few drinks and maybe like throw ourselves in the sea and just chat. So I'm kind of more that end of things now, than like big massive sessions. Yeah. And yeah, just kind of like say on the day of my birthday, I've taken the day off and I'm going to get a tattoo and a piercing and I'm going to come in jail. Do you know what I mean? I'm just like, I just want to just go and just...
such a juxtaposition of things. It's like, I'm going to get a few piercings and then go to come in jail.
Listen, yeah, I like having, when I have time to myself, I suppose I'm just clawing my way back to like doing little things for myself. So
why do people love your content so much? Like, why are we kind of drawn? Is it the authenticity? Like, you were doing up your house and a furniture piece would arrive and I'd be like 15 minutes later watching this and I'm like, Rebecca, go to work. Like what you're unpacking a fucking couch. I'm like, or you have an outfit or you're putting on a face cream. Why are you so fascinating to watch? And what is that as someone who's a social media marketeer or a consultant? What draws us as engagers and voyeurs?
It's hard to answer without sounding like I've planned it this way, which I certainly haven't. But I think it is this. It's quite like real. Like, none of it is bullshit. Like, yeah. I think I'm quite irritated by people who are like, that it is kind of a show, or even like, I'm so like, I hate when people talk in cliches as well. I kind of get really impatient with it. So like, guys, this is amazing. It's the best thing ever. Like, I'm just like, you're just saying words. It doesn't even actually mean anything. You know what I mean? What do you actually think?
My mum always hates the word amazing. Like, she used to always go, that doesn't mean anything. I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, you didn't have an amazing weekend. Like, how was it? Was it good? Was it fruitful?
Yeah, were you amazed by it?
Yeah, like that's not a word, by the way. She always, and now I'm very aware of the word amazing.
I probably say amazing all the time. It's probably a bad example, but I
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? I'm just kind of...
the hyperbole of like, it's just all bullshit, really.
Yeah.
What is your bugbear on, because you're a feminist and like, I think we all feel it's a dirty word, but you're a strong advocate for women. Are there bugbears? Let's not talk about Trump, and let's not talk about Netanyahu, let's not talk about assholes, but are there things that are really grating you?
I suppose like I touched on earlier on, like people criticizing each other for things that just don't ultimately matter, just kind of let everyone get on with their things. Yeah. And I mean, obviously that whole tattle thing imploding there recently was a good thing for all involved. But yeah, I think just, like expecting everyone to be perfect as well. I mean, I'm certainly not. I don't try to, whatever. But hopping on people for the slightest little thing they do. I mean, don't get me wrong. Certain people deserve a very strong cancelling, like, but just, yeah, I suppose if you spend so much time thinking about small things that other people are doing, like, what are you doing? Like, there's bigger things going on in the world. So, yeah.
What are your hopes and dreams? How do you parent? Like, what are as your unit now moving forward? And you've come through challenges, and even just getting him kind of to a place where he's in school and you starting this incredible new business effectively. What are your hopes and dreams? I
really hope we have that type of relationship where we can do things together. That could go either way. He could turn 10 and think I'm a dickhead.
He could be your Paris trip mama-daughter weekend girl.
We could be in the hot tub. I hope, like, I'd love to think that we could like go camping together and do really fun stuff, and like maybe, you know, with my brother's family as well and stuff. I just hope we end up kind of like mates as you can be with your child. You know, like that we have.
Like that? Do you have boundaries? Like, are you strict or are you just all in?
I'm probably kind of strict, but like, I talk to him like a human being. You know what I mean? I definitely do. I don't like
baby him.
No, I don't think so. And he's so funny now. The stuff he says to me, I won't be able to think of any examples, but like sometimes he talks back to me and I'm like, that is just, he's already turning into me a bit, like, you know. I just hope that we can talk to each other. That's the bottom line. I hope he, you know, is able to tell me if there's stuff going on with him, and that we have that. You know, I definitely don't want to be, you know, like that sort of, have you seen Rachel Galvo's sketch about like the mom who's in love with her son? It's so funny. So I don't want to be that kind of friend where I'm like, I'm part of your life, like, but I just want him to know that he can come to me about absolutely anything. That's all I can hope for, really.
Well, Mum Jackie would be proud of you. I think Ziggy is going to be immensely, I cannot wait to see the stories that he tells about his mom, his childhood, what you've done for him, and the sacrifices. I think it's really important to mention that, yes, you're having a hell of a ride and you're really happy, but you've made massive sacrifices for him and for yourself. I've loved having you on and chatting to you. Keep doing what you're doing, because people just really like you a lot.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Laura Cunningham.
To all my gorgeous listeners, because every parent deserves peace of mind, I'm thrilled to share that this episode is brought to you in partnership with Optimal Follow-On Milk, the #1 follow-on milk brand in Ireland. Optimal Follow-On Milk is a product you can trust. It's specially designed to support babies' growth and development, as it contains calcium and vitamin D, which contributes to the normal growth and development of bone. With over 50 years of dedicated breast milk research, Optimal Follow-On Milk brings science and care together to support your baby's journey. Optimal Follow-On Milk, your life, our science. If you like this episode, will you please rate it, subscribe and share it with others? This helps me get the guests that you want to hear.